I mean, I always tell everyone, getting through these 2 years in the pandemic, we didn't cut any staffing. Everyone worked the whole time.
Wow.
And that is one of my proudest accomplishments, is that like, I know other places couldn't do that. And I hate that for them, but I was so happy. And it's a tribute to my community here, our gaming community here, we had some people be supportive, and it's a tribute to my staff, honestly. 'Cause like, I'm sure they were tired of me doing this, but like literally when things started happening, like every day we'd spend time like, okay, if this happens, what do you think we should do? What we would talk as a group. Everything we do, we try and do as collaboratively as possible. And we're like, hey, what do you think we should do? Should we close this? Okay, how this? Can we do this? We look at when mandates came down, what we could and couldn't do, and we would follow them to the T. Because that's, to me, that's how we kept people safe. And so like as soon as everything came down, it was like, you're closed for X weeks. It was okay. Well, can we have staff here or what? Okay, cool. We do mailing. We we have in-store pickup. We adjusted to be curbside so people could just call up and we could take it out. And we added delivery.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and just, and delivery was me hopping in a car or Ryan hopping in a car and just driving to someone's house and putting it on their front porch.
Right.
But that was important. And, and then we were able to, because we're doing that, staff were able to be able to come to work. And then we just literally had tables in the front retail area. We had tables spread out. We were like 8-10 feet away from each other, and we just buckled down and did some work. Put things on eBay. We'd already had we've always had a website, because when I first opened the store, I felt it was important for us to have that web presence. I didn't want to be the game store my hours of operation. I wanted to be your game store 24/7. So you just go look at my website. Do you have this card? Do you have this game? And see it. So we always had that. That wasn't anything new. But then we took some stuff and said, okay, well, this is moving. We'll put this on eBay. We did stuff. Did the work. Inventoried a bunch of backstock of cards and things. And we just sat around and worked, made sure they had money coming in, made sure, we had inventory getting added so we could sell things online, and just grinded, man. And, and our play space was closed for over a year, and it was rough, man. And it wasn't rough from, it wasn't great from a financial standpoint, obviously, but like it was rough from a social standpoint. Like everyone, it was isolation. It sucked, right? And at least for us, we had, all these other staff members that we would see. But like there were people that I had seen every week, at least once a week for 15 years across my game stores I'd worked in town, right? I'd see them every Friday for Friday Magic. And then like, I didn't see them for a year.
Yeah.
Right. Cause they're isolating and they might come out, I might drop something off at their door maybe, or I might, they might come at the store on a day when I wasn't there, but otherwise I may not see them at all. And like normally I'd see them every Friday, or I'd see them every Wednesday for new comics, or I'd see them, it's just like, and there are those relationships where maybe you don't go hang out at their house all the time, or they don't come to your house, but they're a steady relationship. I've known some of these people for 20 years, and they are a part of my life, an important part of my life. And it was just, suddenly you see this like gone. And we lost people too, like we had a couple suicides in our community that time because it's hard.
Yeah.
And man, and then we had some, I went to too many funerals for that. And there are a couple we couldn't go to that because they happened at the beginning and they weren't doing funerals. And so downer part of the podcast, but but it's part of the community. Right. And so for me, I feel like if I'm going to be a part of the community, I got to be part of all of it, right? I can't just take on the good parts and be like, yay, that's fun. The game stuff. I also got to, these are people I care about. And so I want to be there for the good times,
Yeah.
It's cool when I get invited to a wedding for one of my customers. Like, it makes me feel good,
That's awesome.
I got one of my customers getting married next year and I saw them on the invite list. I'm like, sweet.
You're doing something right. Like when that, like I've never been, other than weddings I was shooting. I've never been invited to a wedding, like, because my clients were like, hey, man, we really liked you. This makes me sound bad, but it's a different relationship.
It is. No, it is. I mean,
you're seeing your people every week.
Yeah.
Your friends.
Yeah, they are. And like, that's one of the things I think it's, when people talk about like what I do and I think it's hard to tidy up and wrap up in an easy thing, because I always say, like, part of what I do is traditional retail. You know, it's I get things in, I sell them. You know, I have a margin, I have all that stuff. But part of what I do is also event coordination. You know, having events and board game nights and managing tournaments and things like that. And we look to do more unique events and more fun events, social events, and things like that in the future. But the other part of it's community management, for lack of a better thing, or community outreach. You know, like having a place where people can go and feel safe and feel seen, and, you know, hopefully see themselves in us, in our staff, you know, and what we like, and have a conversation like we're having a conversation. If someone wants to come in and we're talking, and the conversation we're having about a Marvel movie, I think I've had those conversations a bunch of times, and I love it. It's great, you know.
Hey there, hope you enjoyed that clip. You can find more clips like this and full video episodes of the Small Stuff Podcast on our YouTube channel. You can also listen to full episodes of the Small Stuff Podcast in audio form wherever it is you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, all the places. Also, follow us on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. All the links are in the description. Have a nice day.